Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
It's a cool, chilly evening here in Cleveland, Ohio. And we know one thing. You can't start a game before the first pitch. So we'll start off with the Home Depot getting it done pitching matchup. Getting the start for the Guardians is Tanner Bybee. And for the Yankees, it's Will Warren trying to bounce back from a very short outing last time out. And now it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Guardians. Game 2 of a 3-game set from Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees fell last night by a score of 6-4, but they continued to hit home runs, 40 as a team, and the vast majority of them from the left side. So they'll have another opportunity tonight.
Yeah, they're going to load the lineup with some lefties tonight against Tanner Bybee, who's a young right-handed power pitcher for the Guardians. The Yankees going to try to combat that with their power. Ben Rice has driven the baseball all year. Cody Bellinger in Tampa, deep drive to right field. And then last night, maybe this swing that gets Jazz Chisholm back on track as he hits a rocket into the seats in right center. And then the most impressive swing of the night, the switch hitter Jason Dominguez from the left side, 445 feet.
So 40 home runs leads Major League Baseball, but 27 of them from Yankee left-handed batters. That also leads the majors. And for the Guardians pitcher against lefties, they hit 265 against him with an 807 opponent's OPS. Now, not only does Warren have to bounce back, he has to bounce back against the guy that's one of the best hitters in baseball, and that's Jose Ramirez.
Well, when you come to Cleveland, you have to game plan against Jose Ramirez. He's going to be hitting in the middle of the lineup, and he's a big-time run producer. He's also a bad ball hitter. That ball down and in off the plate, 3-run home run, and then he followed it up with a fastball down the middle and a rocket to right field to add a little insurance for Cleveland last night. Jose Ramirez has been getting it done in this stadium for a long time.
Getting it done against the Yankees, particularly 62 games against the Bombers, hitting .335. That's the most any player hits against the Yankees that's active right now. 13 home runs, 39 ribbies, an OPS of .968. So we mentioned Warren. Last time out against Tampa Bay, he lasted 2 outs into the second inning. How does he bounce back? Meredith Morakovitz asked the pitching coach, Matt Blake, that very question next.
Welcome back to Progressive Field for Yankees baseball on Yes. Hey, everyone. I'm Meredith Morakovitz alongside Yankees pitching coach Matt Blake. Matt, Will Warren going this evening. Last time out, struggled a little bit, got just 5 outs in that one. What adjustments did he make between starts to try to help him succeed today?
I think the biggest thing is just being more aggressive in the zone. I think he's just got to trust that his stuff is really good, and we keep reiterating, like, he grades out really well in a lot of ways, and he's got, you know, a good arsenal to both left and right, and I think he's just got to be a little more confident attacking the zone early.
Do you think he believes that?
Yeah, I do. I just think sometimes in the heat of battle, like, it's easy to kind of fall back and get a little passive and, you know, look at some of the names you're facing and not be on the attack. And I think that's just one thing we just got to get over that hurdle.
A lot of lefties, a lot of switch hitters over there. What are some of the challenges when you look at that lineup for him?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously, you know, put 9 lefties in there today. It's pretty rare to see, but that's kind of who they are. They like to have the platoon advantage. So it's one of those things that Will's got to be aggressive in the zone, get his 4-seam going, use some of the spin for, you know, strikes early, but ultimately he's got to control the zone with this group.
Matt, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by John Flaherty. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. By Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. And by Hyundai, with a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame down by the water here in Cleveland, and we are at Progressive Field, where the Guardians have taken the field. Tanner Bybee is taking his warm-ups, and this is the Yankee lineup that he's going to face. The DH is Ben Rice. Batting second, playing right field, Aaron Judge. Cody Bellinger in center. Paul Goldschmidt cleans up and plays first base. with 5 hitters. The second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Anthony Volpe at short, Jason Dominguez in left, J.C. Escars going to catch, and bat 8th and batting 9th. And playing third base, it's Oswaldo Cabrera.
Well, manager Aaron Boone sends that lineup out to face the right-hander Tanner Bybee, finishing up his warm-up tosses. You see the numbers on the year. It'll be his 5th start. The ERA elevated to 5.85. We'll take a look at our Nissan pitcher scouting report. He's had 4 starts. 2 of them have been scoreless. The other 2, he's given up 13 runs combined, so it's been all or nothing. And the long ball has been a problem. 7 home runs allowed already. That is 3rd most in Major League Baseball. And he will be a challenge for the righties in this lineup. A 195 batting average against right-handed hitters last year.
Let's look at the defense behind Bybee. It's Kwan in left, Martinez in center, Jones over in right. We'll go 3rd to 1st in the infield. Jose Ramirez, Brian Rocchio, Daniel Schneemann, and Carlos Santana. And Bone Arrows behind the plate. Let's check out the keys to the game, which are brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Yeah, Matt Blake, the pitching coach, just told Meredith 9 lefties against Will Warren in this lineup. That is unusual. How will he do against those lefties? We'll tell the story tonight. And Bybee's cutter was a big pitch last year. He's struggling with it this year. And the Yankees have a rested pen, especially their high leverage guys.
Bybee's ready. Rice is ready. And let's do it here in Cleveland. First pitch is skied to left field and deep. Backing up Kwan, still back. He's going to turn, and he's not going to play it because that ball is over the wall for a leadoff home run for Ben Rice.
Well, we talked about the left-handed hitters for the Yankees, and they're going to have to do some damage against Tanner Bybee. 1 pitch, 1-0. Home run number 6 for Ben Rice. Guess that back elbow's feeling fine. We saw him pinch hit last night. Gets a start tonight.
Here's Aaron Judge. Jumping on Bybee early. And that ball is fouled away. Yankees coming at 14-9. The Guardians are 13-9.
Well, hunting a first pitch fastball, and Ben Rice got it right down the middle. The only question, would there be a little help with the wind the other way? Just gets up into the seats. Nice look from the side, how he backs that fastball up, lets it travel, and just muscles it out the other way.
Fourth leadoff home run for the Yankees this year. Rice pinch hit yesterday. And now back in the lineup, and he reintroduces himself loudly. 2-2.
Well, it's hard to explain. Tanner Bybee is a good young right-handed pitcher, but he's given up 8 home runs already this year. Big reason why the numbers are elevated.
Ground ball right side and through for a base hit. Home plate umpire is Vic Carapazza. He's considered neutral. More high strikes on lefty batters, fewer inside strikes on righty batters, and Vic in his 16th big league season. So Judge extends his on-base streak to 20 straight. Here's Bellinger. Foul back here and out of play.
Well, there's that cutter, which was a big weapon for Bybee last year, but struggling with it this year so far. Throws a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer, a cutter, a sweeper, and a changeup.
Let's take a look at some leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Longest active on base streaks: Schwarber 29, Tatis 22, Judge now 20. Schwarber's goes back to last season. One and two. So the home run by Rice, the Yankees' 41st of the year. That's #1 in the major leagues. Foul back to the screen. Game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees at 59 degrees. No chance of rain, humidity 44%, the wind out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Chasing Judge back. It's amazing. Carlos Santana's a pretty big guy. He's absolutely dwarfed by the size of Judge.
So Judge dancing around there trying to get a good jump, maybe to steal a bag. Bellinger behind in the count 1-2.
Strike 3. Bellinger down looking.
I talked about the cutter being a pitch he hasn't really found early on. Well, the changeup has always been there. Good weapon against some of the lefties in this lineup. Starts middle and dives down and away.
First 3 Yankee batters have swung at the first pitch. Let's see if Goldschmidt follows suit. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Well, sometimes as a hitter, you worry about these 6 o'clock starts with the shadows and will I be able to see the ball my first at bat? The Yankees are showing everybody they're getting a good look. The home run the other way. Aaron Judge a base hit to right field. Some good swings early.
Ground ball is short. There's 1. And there's 2. But the Yankees take the early lead. The first pitch of the game, Ben Rice goes the other way, gets it over the high wall in left field. Yankees won, and the Guardians coming to bat. Back here at Progressive Field. Yankees have a 1-0 lead on the Ben Rice leadoff home run. Let's take a look at the Guardians lineup. Kwan, Jones, and Ramirez at the top. Manzardo, Santana, and Naylor, that's the middle of the order. Then Martinez, Sneeman, and Rocchio. And Bibby's on the mound.
Well, the young right-hander Will Warren in the middle of his warm-up tosses. It'll be his 5th start, 1-0 record, 5.17 ERA. Let's check out our Nissan Pitchers scouting report on Will Warren. And he's coming off a rough one. Only an inning and 2/3 in Tampa against the Rays. That 38-pitch second inning got him. And his pitches have a ton of movement. 5 pitches, they have at least 2 or more inches of break. That is more than the major league average. And in the zone swings and misses, 28.5% of the time, their swings and misses in the strike zone. That leads all of Major League Baseball.
Stephen Kwan will lead off. 3-time All-Star, having another good year. And there's a strike from Warren. So Warren only got 2 outs in the second inning against the Rays in his last start. But he only gave up 1 run. It was a quick hook by Aaron Boone. Bases were loaded. He went to the bullpen. He said, I thought that was an important part of the game, and he didn't want Warren to go over 40 pitches in 1 inning.
If we remember back to that start, there was some hard contact in the first inning, and then I thought the second inning, Will Warren was pitching to the corners and off the plate, and he got himself into some bad counts. Pitch count got elevated, and this is a big start for him. He needs to rebound.
Loop to left field. Here comes Dominguez, going to the plate on a hop, and Kwan makes a big turn. He'll stop there at first base with a single. Yankee defense, we've seen Dominguez in left, Bellinger in center, Judge over and right. First to third will go Goldschmidt, Chisholm, Volpe, and Cabrera. Lascar behind the plate, Rice to DH, Warren's on the mound. Here's Nolan Jones. This could be 2. There's 1 on to first. Not in time. Jones beat it out.
Well, there's some balls that are hit on the ground and you think they're going to be a routine tailor-made double play, but a little slow developing. Jones got down the line in good shape, but Will Warren made his pitch. You'd expect that to be a double play.
Here is Ramirez. Yesterday he had 2 hits with runners in scoring position. The first time this year he's had a hit with a runner in scoring position. So a slow start for him, but the numbers still quite respectable. 6-time All-Star. We told you in the opening he's always hit the Yankees quite well. .335, 13 homers, 39 runs batted in. An OPS of .965. There's a strike. One 0 Yankees on the Rice home run. Jones dives back.
Well, I enjoyed listening to pitching coach Matt Blake talking to Meredith before the game about Will Warren and how his stuff grades out, right? And that just means he's got above average major league stuff. For your young kid, got to trust it.
See if they turn 2 here. Bobble. There's 1, and that's all they'll get.
Got to trust that your stuff is good enough. You can pitch in the strike zone. I talked about how many swings and misses he gets with pitches in the strike zone. And again, makes a good pitch to Ramirez. Chisholm can't come up with the backhand clean, and they're only going to get 1. Good sign for Warren. Some weak contact on the ground in the first inning.
Here's Kyle Manzardo. He has homered in 3 straight games for the Guardians, and there's a strike. The first of those 3 home runs was a home run off Paul Skeens. So a brand name. Runner goes. No throw. Stolen base for Ramirez.
Well, Ramirez, power and speed. This will be the 4th stolen base of the year for him. Scarra can't come up with it clean with the transfer.
Runner at second with 2 outs, bottom of the first inning.
We'll take a look at the pitch and the transfer. That was a fastball that he just took.
Three and one. One nothing Yanks. Ramirez at second, 3-1 count on the cleanup hitter, Kyle Manzardo. Did he go? Yep, he did. 3-2.
Well, a good pitch right there from Warren to get back in the count. 3-1's a fastball count. He went with the sweeper. You got the check swing to get back in the count. Now you have plenty of options if you're Will Warren. Manzardo, I'm sure, thinking that he's going to go off speed, try to sneak a fastball by him.
Foul back.
Well, this was last night for Manzardo. Fastball elevated, middle in, and just got enough of it.
Payoff. Strike three. Manzardo down looking. No runs, a hit, and one man left. We played 1-1 Yanks. Well, let's check out FanDuel's live same game parlay. One strikeout for Will Warren in the first inning. So that's one of the plays. A lot of beautiful pups here at the ballpark today. And there's a strike to Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1-1. So Chisholm has 14 hits this year. 14 for 87. That's 161. Half of the hits have left the ballpark. So 7 home runs.
Well, Jazz hit his 7th last night, 4th in the American League, and that swing last night was so effortless, just using his hands, and the ball just jumped off his bat.
Bibee faced the Yankees twice in the ALCS, knocked out in the 2nd inning of Game 2, giving up 3 runs. Then much better in Game 5, 5 2/3 innings of 2-run ball, but the Yankees won the clincher in extra innings. Let's take a look at all of the 7 home runs on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, all of them to the pole side, right center, down to the right field line. And again, it's effortless power. There's not a big leg kick. Jazz is just so quick with his hands.
Two-two pitch, up and away, 3-2. That's the hitting coach, assistant hitting coach, Pat Rossler, who will sometimes get bitten by Jazz after the home runs. Jazz hit one off his foot.
Take another look at the swing. Gets his right foot, right ankle, and then try to walk it off.
John, I think that might have gotten him on the guard, and it still hurts even if it gets the guard.
Take another look. Definitely off the guard. Always had hitting coaches say if you're going to want to foul a ball off your foot, you want it to be your front foot so you don't wait. Got all your weight moving forward, keeps you back a little bit longer.
3-2. Popped up. Ramirez makes the play, 1 down. That's going to bring up Anthony Volpe. You see his numbers this year. His numbers against Cleveland in 18 games, very good. 328, 431 on base percentage. Check out Coors Light beating the pressure on Anthony Volpe. Not chasing as much, and he's walking more. There's a strike, 0-2.
Well, we've talked about it for the last week, how Anthony Volpe's been attacked with fastballs and high velocity. Bibee coming right at him with 2 heaters to get ahead in the count.
Tries the cutter out of the zone. So his hitting 217, his on base percentage is 313, and that's exactly the major league average. But the Yankees would like him to get on at a higher clip so he could really use his speed and base stealing ability. Two. Fouled away. Weekend before opening day, Bibee, 26 years old, signed a 5-year, $48 million extension that goes through 2029. So the Guardians believe in him, buys out his arbitration years and 1 free agent season. Plus, there's a team option for 2030.
Well, good for him taking the security as a young player in the league, but with that contract, Now there's a responsibility to go out there and do it.
High fly ball left field, but hooking foul. Third big league season. American League Rookie of the Year runner-up in 2023. Career ERA is very respectable at 3.41. Sixth best in the American League since he broke in. Three and two on the Yankee shortstop. And the payoff way outside, so Volpe works a walk. And that brings up Jason Dominguez, hit the longest home run of his young career yesterday, 445 feet to right center field. Second home run of the year.
Yeah, that shot was impressive last night, and no problem from the left side. He's had his struggles from the right side. This is a look back to last night. A breaking ball that just spun middle of the plate. And that one went a long way for Jason Dominguez.
Took BP today, had a t-shirt on, a blue t-shirt with white lettering. Just 3 words. Just be nice. We should all live by that.
It's just very simple, isn't it?
Very simple, not too complicated. Just be nice.
Just be nice. My old man used to say it's nice to be nice. Doesn't take a lot.
Dave LaPointe used to tell me it takes a lot more muscles to frown than it is to smile.
That's deep. That's deep.
One, two. 2-2.
I just feel like there's a lot of nice going around in Cleveland. We talked about Tom Hamilton, the nicest guy in the world, going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
We both agreed we're not very nice, but Jason Dominguez is just be nice.
Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Still 2-2. They're making Bybee work. Three and two.
When you talk to people around Cleveland, they say fastball command has been the biggest issue for Bybee. A lot of deep counts here early in this one. 37th pitch on the way.
High fly ball left field. Kwan on the run toward the line makes the play. Kwan could field that position with anyone. 3 straight Gold Gloves.
And that ball off the bat, I'm thinking there's a possibility of a blooper down the line, but you see Kwan and how much ground he's able to cover and actually get around that baseball for a play at second base. 3-time Gold Glover.
There's J.C. Escara catching today. When asked why, Aaron Boone said, well, I'm not going to catch somebody day game after night game. So I'm going to give one of the days off to Wells, and I decided it was today. So Wells will play tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock start. Fly ball shallow left. Kwan is there, and he puts it away for the final out. Yankees strand one. We go to the bottom of the second. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Luke, who drove from Buffalo to attend last night's game in Cleveland. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention Yes in Pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game like we did Luke. Carlos Santana swings at the first pitch from Warren and fouls it away. Santana 0 for his last 14. "39 years old. And a strike. 16th big league season. And he won his first Gold Glove last year. And he goes down on strike, so he's 0 for his last 15.
Well, Aaron Boone talked to the media before the game, and he said getting count leverage for Will Warren was going to be key in this one. He felt like the last outing fell behind on a lot of counts. What we've seen early, getting ahead and pounding the strike zone from Will Warren.
Bo Naylor, and a strike. Oh, 2.
Yeah, the biggest hurdle for young pitchers when they make it to the major leagues is to believe that their stuff is good enough to get major league hitters out. And you wonder, after that last outing, only an inning and 2/3 in Tampa against the Rays, where he was pitching off the plate. Tonight it looks like an effort to say, here's my best stuff in the zone.
Hit shortly on one hop to Chisholm. Makes the play and then throws it in the dirt, and Goldschmidt cannot handle. Goldschmidt is an expert at scooping, didn't come up with that one.
Yeah, this is frustrating, though, with Jazz. He makes the tough part of the play and then just flips it over there. Doesn't take a step in the right direction to get something on the throw. That was the tough part. The easy part was the throw, and he just threw it low. Goldschmidt not able to come up with it. A frustrating error.
Martinez shows bunt, takes a strike. One and one.
Martinez in last night's game had 4 at-bats, only 2 hits. He hit the ball hard all 4 times.
Delayed steal, throw to second, not in time. Naylor in there.
Now the catcher for the Guardians, Bo Naylor, with the delayed steal. Head first slide. See if the Yankees are going to challenge this one. Doesn't look like they're going to. Throw on the shortstop side of the bag. A nice pick by Volpe. Tried to sweep across the tag. And again, look at the delay. Hop, 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 and go.
So it kind of looks like they're going to run on the combination of Warren and Escara. 2 stolen bases in 2 innings.
The Guardians do all the small things, right? They run the bases well. They play defense. Not a whole lot of power in their lineup for Stephen Vogt.
Chop toward first base. And they get the out. Moving to third is Naylor. Here is Daniel Schneemann. He has a 4-game hitting streak. He's 6 for 13. Time runs at third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Yankees with the Ben Rice leadoff home run. They're up 1-0.
We talked about all the lefties in the lineup for the Guardians tonight. I thought the changeup might be a big pitch for Warren in this game, and he's had a good one early on.
Goes with the fastball, clips the inside corner, 1-1.
Clearly more aggressive with his stuff in the strike zone, although he gets the benefit of the doubt on that call.
Two and one.
There's that changeup. Good action down and away.
Three and one. Rukio is on deck. Three and two. And he ends up walking. And here is Brian Rocchio. Nellers at third. Schneemann is at first.
He's got a piece of his right hand last night. I thought this was going to be a lot worse than it turned out to be by his reaction. Stayed in the game and gets a start tonight.
One and one. Strike two with the curve. Pitching with a lot more confidence today, pitching quickly. As you like to say, John, it seems like he's proud of his stuff today.
Proud of his stuff, and you know, the count leverage that everybody talks about. Pitching behind in the count or ahead in the count, completely different. As you see Escara going through the first and third defenses. It's a perfect opportunity for the Guardians to try to steal a run with runners on the corners.
Volpe will beat Schneemann to the bag, and that'll do it. The Guardians strand two. We go to the third. Time for tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. DJ LeMahieu currently on the 10-day IL with a left calf strain. First rehab game with Somerset tonight. That's the Yankees AA affiliate. 2 for 2, a home run, and 2 runs batted in. And they're still playing. Now, Aaron Boone said a while ago, DJ's going to need a full spring training. Now, you get 20 days on that rehab assignment, so I think they'll use all 20 days.
Yeah, try to get the at-bats up to probably, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, if you have a 20-day rehab. DJ's missed a lot of time. He needs the reps.
And if you could get something approximating prime DJ LeMahieu, all of a sudden, you know, your right-handed side is a little bit stronger than it is right now. Now, he could spell Cabrera at third against the left-hander. He could give Jazz Chisholm a day off at second. So he could be valuable. Again, he's got to be healthy, though. Backhanded there by Rocchio. And also, there's some good news on Giancarlo Stanton, because Meredith we had a Stanton sighting today outside in the batting cage.
Well, he has been traveling with the team. This is the first time he took BP on the field in quite some time, Michael. And you want to talk about right-handed bats. What a huge right-handed bat that would be to get back. But right now, still no timetable on when he will go on a rehab assignment. But he did say he's extremely encouraged with where he's at right now. He's been doing some agility drills and some running. He said essentially he's just trying to build himself up as well, as if he's going through a full day of baseball activity and a full day of a spring training. But he will require some rehab time to see some live pitching. But the Yankees optimistic that he's going to be able to make it back in the near future, Michael.
It is interesting because he has been hitting against the trajectory machine and the indoor batting cages, but ball players say they like to play outside to see exactly where the ball's going.
Oh, you want to watch the flight of the baseball. It tells you a lot about where your swing is or isn't. By that I mean, you know, if you're hitting balls and you're slicing them, let's just say to right field, you know you're not on time. Hit balls right back up the middle, have that good carry. You see the flight of the ball out on the field. I think that's important.
And John, it was just that. He said he wanted to see where he is at right now in that rehab process. He also spoke about Ben Rice, saying that he is just off to a tremendous year, that it's been impressive. You saw glimpses of it last year, but he said this year he just seems to be putting it together at the start of the season. He is knowledgeable in his approach, and he said even when he's making outs, it just seems like he is barreling up balls and hitting the ball hard. Giancarlo Stanton has certainly enjoyed watching Ben Rice in the start that he has had.
And he started the game hitting a home run on the first pitch, his 6th home run of the year. 3-2. And I get asked this all the time by fans that I run into in the street or on the radio show. Well, when Stanton comes back, what happens with Rice? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have no idea. And when you ask Boone, he haven't even thought about that. And Rice goes down looking. I'm somewhat dubious about that claim. Of course he thinks about it.
Yeah, you think about it and you try to get creative. How can I keep both of them in the lineup getting at bats? And you know, we know Ben Rice, you see him before games with his catcher's gear on, going to the bullpen, working on the defensive part of the game. But it'll all play out at some point.
And I just remember what Joe Torre used to always say, though. He said, I really don't worry about that stuff. He said, most of the time, it works itself out. Something happens that's the solution. One and one on Judge. Judge with a single through the right side of the infield in the first inning. It's amazing. You look on the big board in left field, his on-base percentage is .495. That means he's getting on base half the time he comes up. Three and one. Bellinger's on deck. Swings through the cutter. 3-2.
Looking for a fastball, gets the cutter, big swing and a miss. And if you're Aaron Judge, no harm, no foul. Now you get back to work.
Hit sharply and through for a base hit. Kind of off the end of the bat, but still a line drive that got past Schneemann. So Judge is 2 for 2.
Well, not exactly the two hardest hit baseballs from Aaron Judge in this game, but he'll take it. 2 for 2, stays on that slider cutter on the outer half. Just pokes it into right field to extend the inning. 72 miles an hour off the bat. Bybee can't believe it.
There's Bellinger. Up and away. 1-0. Bellinger struck out looking in the first inning. Slice the other way and out of play. Bellinger, 198 career home runs. So 2 away from a milestone blast, and he's always had good numbers against Cleveland, either with the Dodgers or the Cubs. This is the first time he's facing them as a Yankee. One, 1-2. Yankees lead 1-0 on the Rice leadoff home run. Scoop the other way and into the seats. Judge leads off first, 2 outs. And the 1-2. Strike 3. Bellinger does not agree with that call. No runs a hit. 1 man left. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Optimum Fiber. Get Optimum, the fastest fiber internet. Don't take slow for an answer. By your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. El Tiante. And Greg Nettles, man they call Puff. Yankees lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Ball 1 to Stephen Kwan.
You ever get to know Luis Tiant?
Hello and goodbye.
Oh.
No, didn't really get to know him.
What a gentleman.
I remember growing up the games on Pix 11 and the constant Yankee Frank commercials. And Louis Tiant was the star of the commercial. Well, what a pitcher. Some people believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. 1-2.
Great pitcher, great personality, great facial hair.
I can't believe the Yankees allowed that. Fly ball center field. Bellinger. Cleveland has certainly protected its home turf. They've won 6 of 7 at home. And since 2016, John, they have the 4th best home winning percentage in baseball. The Dodgers are 1st. Yankees are 2nd, Houston is 3rd, and Cleveland's 4th. This ballpark is so different than the old municipal stadium they played by on the lake. This just changed Cleveland baseball, it really did.
My first year in the major leagues, 1992, my first game I ever played was at the old municipal stadium. Seats, what, like 80,000 people?
Yep.
Man, was it cold.
Remember, the Yankees would occasionally open the season there. There'd be 70,000 people. Next game, there'd be 4,000 people. On the side of that ballpark is now the Cleveland Browns stadium. And they're getting a new stadium. They want a new stadium built.
20 years old.
Yeah. And the Guardians, this ballpark is undergoing about a $200 million renovation. They took some seats out. They Took green seats out, put blue seats in. Strike 3. Jones down looking. Here's the old place, John. Let's bring back good memories.
80,000 people would pack that place.
And when it was packed, it was impressive.
It was great.
Yeah.
When it wasn't so hot. My first major league hit in that stadium.
Up the middle, and right there is Volpe in short center field. And he gets Ramirez, so they had him play beautifully. And the Guardians go down 1-2-3 against Warren. Well, John, let's check out Allstate Good Hands.
The Good Hands replay by Allstate. Well, we just saw it. A hot shot right back up the middle. Anthony Volpe is positioned perfectly. The strong throw across the diamond. Your Good Hands replay by Allstate.
In the top of the fourth inning, leading off first baseman for New York, Paul Goldschmidt.
There's Paul Goldschmidt wrapped into a double play to end the first inning. Strike. Skied the other way. Jones gives it a look, but it's in the seats. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand. Plus, stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Just missed the outside corner.
With that changeup, home plate umpire Vic Carapazza has been giving and taking away in an inconsistent strike zone through the first couple of innings.
John, did you know that this is a very important date in the history of this franchise?
The New York Yankees or the Guardians?
Yankees, yeah. We'll let Tom speak about the Guardians.
Well, we are in Cleveland.
Got it. But on this date in 1903, this Tiffany franchise began. This was the first game ever played. They were the Highlanders then. They played their first game ever. 3-1 loss to the Washington Senators. They did not become the Yankees until they moved to the Polo Grounds in April of 1913. The Highlanders name never really caught on. So all these years later, 41 American League pennants, 27 championships. They've had a good run, John.
Yeah, they lost the first game in their existence and turned it around after that.
Yep. Haven't looked back. Three and two.
Again, Paul Goldschmidt working a tough at bat. The ability to hit with 2 strikes, never panics.
High drive, right field. Jones back on the track, and it's a foul ball. Kept slicing off the bat of the right-handed Goldschmidt. Now, that's a pretty sharp uniform for the Highlanders. See, the NY wasn't interlocked then.
It's a good-looking uni.
Bring that back on one of the turn back the clock days. Three-two. And a walk for Goldschmidt.
Stepping in now for New York. Second baseman, Jazz Chisholm.
Here is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Popped out to Ramirez to start the second. So the Goldschmidt at bat, 10 pitches. One and 0.
Well, that's what this lineup does when they're at their best. They wear down a starting pitcher, get that pitch count elevated.
The young righty deals. Grounded foul. So the power has been there for Chisholm, but not hitting for average. He's hoping that when the weather warms up, he will as well. Hitting just 159. And again, he fouls one off his foot.
One of those nights, first at bat, fouled it off his right ankle. Again, going to take that stroll over by the Yankee dugout. Aaron Boone's going to come out and check on him.
A little lower than the other one.
Yep. There's not really much a trainer or manager can do except give Jazz a little extra time to walk it off.
And look at Nate holding his bat for him as he's walking it off. Nate the bat boy. All right, Nate, give me the bat. Thank you, Nate.
Well, here's the first foul ball off of his right shin guard. That was the first at bat, and here is the most recent. A little lower. Think back to that home run from Jazz Chisholm last night, number 7, and how simple his swing was. Didn't have a whole lot of movement at all in his lower body, just used his hands. See if he does that here with 2 strikes.
Now that's a pitch that pitchers like to throw when you foul the ball off your foot.
Yeah, it's either the fastball in or the slide or cutter in, and this was the home run last night. As easy of a swing as a major league hitter can take right there, and the ball just jumped off his bat.
The count is full, and you can see Jazz is still in some pain. And the payoff, he works a walk.
The high changeup, and Bybee does not get the call, and Jazz is going to take that stroll to first base. Clearly not feeling 100%.
Anthony Volpe for New York.
Well, they're expecting a bunt from Volpe. They're in at the corners. One and 0. Yankees don't run all that often, and they're ahead. So it's surprising they're in on the grass.
And it's early in the game. It's not like a late game situation.
Good fastball for a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, that might have been the best pitch Bybee has thrown all night. Luis Rojas going through the signs. 95 miles an hour, clipping the outside corner.
Grounded to short. There's one on to first. It's a double play. Goldschmidt goes to third.
Boy, did Bybee need that. Pitch count elevated. Volpe hit it hard right at short. A tailor-made 6-4-3 double play.
So here's Dominguez. Goldschmidt's at third with 2 outs. Yankees lead 1-0. We're in the fourth. And the 0-2 now. Foul back to the screen. Dominguez with a fly ball to left in the second. Bybee deals. Swing and a miss. Yankees at first and second, nobody out. And Bybee does not give up another run. All right, tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Yankees and the Guardians wrap up this 3-game set right here at Progressive Field in Cleveland. Pre-game coverage starts at 12:30. Note the time, with first pitch scheduled for shortly after 1 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Cadillac scoreboard, 1-0 Yanks, bottom of the 4th inning. Manzardo leads off, takes a pitch high, 1-0.
A lot of questions on how Will Warren would respond in this start after his last outing, only an inning and 2/3. And so far, so good.
1 away. Now, here is Jazz between innings talking with Derek Dietrich. Now, Derek Dietrich, they did not have this, John, when you played. And you have not played that long ago. Derek is the Yankees culture and accountability coordinator.
Culture and accountability
coordinator.
What exactly?
I think, you know, it gets you in the right frame of mind. He's a real positive guy, Derek. A lot of work with the minor leaguers in the Yankee system, and he's been traveling with the team.
Developing the right culture.
I guess so. And accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Well, whatever he said to Jazz, he had him smiling when he was walking back out on the field.
Right. He feels great now. And Derek is jacked. I mean, that's a pretty good culture.
Now, Michael, it's not a joke, but you said he's jacked. When he's over at the minor league complex, which he is often, he typically is wearing a sleeveless shirt.
Really?
And now they started something over at the Heim Center where guys are actually elected into the Sleeveless Society. And how do you get into the Sleeveless Society? I know you're wondering. Well, you need to make some serious gains both on the field and as you're developing as a player. It doesn't just mean the most jacked guy. It's a guy that is proving that he's working harder and getting stronger and doing the right things on and off the field. And they actually have a presentation down there towards the end of spring training where the guys are called up, they're nominated, they're put into the Sleeveless Society, and there's actually a pair of scissors on the wall, and then the guys' names who have been put into the Sleeveless Society for the year. Now that guy right there, I don't know if he's going to be in the society, but it was all started by Derek Dietrich over at the Heinz Complex.
So you don't have to be heavily muscled to be in the Sleeveless Society.
For example, George Lombard Jr.,
right,
who has definitely worked a lot in the offseason, trying to put more muscle on, gain more strength, in addition to working on the field. I believe he was put into the Sleeveless Society this year. And
I've got an idea.
you're trying to get in?
I can't wait for this.
You're trying to get in, Mike?
We should have something like that. Yes, so we'll come on the air with sleeveless sport coats.
Nobody wants that. Flash.
I'm just picturing this in my mind, and
right.
Nobody wants to see that.
Hey,
but that's what makes it so fascinating.
Now maybe Paul O'Neill, Joe Girardi, and you in the middle. That would be
right.
Something that the fans would want to see.
So you're saying I don't fit?
You fit perfectly.
Now, here's what I will say, guys. On Friday, there's a new BP All Access where we're going to tour the minor league complex, and we're going to talk a little bit more. You'll actually see the names in the Sleeveless Society this year from the minors.
But again, see, John, the one thing you're missing, what Meredith is saying, you don't have to be jacked. You just have to do the work hard, right? You got to work hard, you said.
Yes, but most people are physically gifted, Michael.
Oh, wow. Wow, that came from the back row.
Yeah, it did. I'm going to talk to Derek. I'm going to get in that society.
You know what? Why don't I do an interview tomorrow with Derek? I'll have you standing by my side, and he can break down what you need to do to be considered for next year's Sleeveless Society.
I'm in. A perfect reason to tune in tomorrow.
Word on the street is they actually they cut the sleeves off your shirt right there when you're put in.
I like it.
Jackets are way too expensive to cut them up, though.
Nice play by Goldschmidt. And the flip to Warren. And that'll do it. I'm ready. Right? Derek, am I ready? I think so. Oh, it's time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Those are the stats. Our producer, Troy Benjamin's been wanting to get a Seattle Pilots logo in there. He finally does.
This is an 8. This is tough.
The Pilot logo is special. Only 1 year and they became the Milwaukee Brewers. But he had a long run with the Yankees. Escara grounds to Santana, who flips to Bybee. Now, I'm going to tell you, John.
Okay.
So, Troy Benjamin, our producer, always brings the clues to Aaron Boone. And Boone studies it. Like, it's a big deal to him. And I looked over his shoulder, and I didn't think he was going to get it. And I said, is it to Troy? And Troy said, yes. And Boone goes, you don't sing it out loud, Michael. So he was really angry.
You guys okay now?
I think so, because he admitted he would not have gotten it. He said because that's not his wheelhouse. I think he's okay now.
All right. He looks fine. You got this one.
I did get it, yeah. Because that is, you know, 70, early 70 Yankees, my wheelhouse. He said early 70 National League is his wheelhouse. Because Dad was at the Phillies. 1-2 on Cabrera. Strike 3. Cabrera, a lot of the Yankees do not like the strike zone of Vic Carapazza today.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem very consistent. I mean, some of these high changeups off the plate have not been called strikes. Now that's called a strike on a 2-strike count. Bybee really needs to have a easy inning with the pitch count. He has had 7 full counts in this game. Only a 1-0 game, but he's had to work hard.
Tapped back to Bybee. And he flips to Santana, and he works a 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway through. It's 1-0 Yanks. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, May 2nd when the Yankees take on the Rays. It's Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey night. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey courtesy of StubHub. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com and join the Sleeveless Society. Bottom of the 5th inning starts, and a foul ball off the bat of Angel Martinez, and Yankees lead 1-0. The first pitch of the game is the difference in the game. Ben Rice centered over the high left field wall, and that's the only scoring to this point. 1-1. One and two.
Really nice changeup, and again negating the left-handed hitters in this lineup for the Guardians. A changeup, change of pace, good pitch to keep them off balance.
Up and away, 2-2. Martinez grounded to first. That was in the second. Guardians have 1 hit. The Yankees have 3. The Guardians hit was a blooper to left field by Stephen Kwan, starting the bottom of the 1st inning. Up the middle, perfectly placed is Volpe. Turns it into an out.
Well, just like last night, Martinez hits his ball hard, but just like earlier in the game, Anthony Volpe positioned perfectly. See him just off to the left side of second base. A hot shot, able to make that play easily.
Remember when they said you can't be behind second base and you can't be on the other side of second base if you're a shortstop? If you're positioned the right way, you're still taking that base hit up the middle away. And you'll see that one's a fly ball to left field, giving chase. Dominguez into the corner. You can't get it. It's foul ball. But you'll see when Anthony starts on the shortstop side of second and the pitch is delivered, he takes a step.
See Dominguez running out of room.
One down, 0-2 count. One and two. What a difference between starts. Warren lifted 2 outs into the 2nd inning in Tampa against the Rays, and now he's 1 out into the 5th. And this one, the pitch is delivered. You can take that step at that point. You're practically behind second base. I could see, John, if they really want to stop taking away the base hit up the middle, they'll have a pizza slice at second base, like with white lines that you know there's only a certain amount that you could get there, and they'll map it out.
You have to stay outside of that.
Yeah. But the scouting and the analytics is so good, they know exactly where you're going to hit the ball.
I mean, it is so hard to hit in today's game with the high velocity of the pitchers to all the movements from the infielders taking base hits away.
And I understand, you know, some of the adjustments that baseball's trying to make, but it also makes me a little weirded out that you're legislating against smart. Strike three. Schneemann down looking.
Will Warren just has a different attitude in this game than he did his last outing against the Rays. It is, here's my best stuff in the zone. I'm going to challenge you with 2 strikes. Just so much more aggressive tonight. Pitching coach Matt Blake, Aaron Boone, the manager, they have to be ecstatic on what they're seeing tonight.
High fly ball right field on the run is Judge toward the line, and he makes the play. Retiring Rocchio and saving an extra base hit. So Judge got a quick jump, makes the catch, and holds on. The pitcher, how could he not love that?
Hey everybody, Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Orioles and Nationals near the bottom of the first. That is Nathaniel Lowe with a runner on second. Towering shot to right center off Dean Kramer. That's his 4th round tripper of the year. Nats add another. They lead the Orioles, who have just 1 hit so far. 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bob. On the Montefiore Einstein scoreboard, top of the 6th inning, Yankees lead 1-0 on the 1st inning leadoff home run by Ben Rice. Aaron Judge will lead off the 6th. Judge is 2 for 2. Kind of squeezed 2 balls through the right side of the infield. Tim Herron warming for the Guardians. (2-0). 398. The Yankees have the top 2 hitters average-wise in the American League. And the average just got higher as he dunks one inside the line into the corner. Judge is going for 2, and he's going to make it with a leadoff double.
Well, Aaron Judge just made a nice diving catch to end the 5th inning, and then he leads off the 6th with a hanging changeup just off the end of the bat, able to pull it and keep it fair down the left field line.
First time in the Yankees history that they have the top 2 batters in the American League through 23 games. Bellinger struck out looking twice. Grounded to 3rd. They don't move Judge over. And Ramirez gets the out. 1 down. An unproductive at bat.
Yeah, Bellinger hit it hard, but his job was to get Aaron Judge to 3rd base with less than 2 outs by trying to pull a baseball. See him shaking his head. It's just the way things are going now. 4-0-4.
That'll do. And although he's not slow, that's not an infield hit, 4-0-4.
Now, we were just talking about infielders and how they kind of shift and defend, and when you have high exit velo like Aaron Judge, it just doesn't matter. Just hits it through the holes in the infield. It gets it up in the air. It's just going to end up in the seats.
And a strike to Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt double play grounder in the 1st, and he walked in the 4th.
You can see Goldschmidt stepping out of the box, going through his moves with his upper body. When he sets himself up in the batter's box, the barrel of that bat is almost pointed down his back. And that just keeps him a little bit taller so he can see the baseball a little bit better.
0-2.
It's where the great RBI guys find a way. Behind in the count, 0-2, runner in scoring position. You shorten up, try to put the ball in play.
And that's one thing that Boone has said about Goldschmidt that has struck him, how he is a situational hitter. He does what he has to do. Not looking to hit a home run every time up. If it just takes a single or right, he'll take that.
Yeah, the count will dictate it if you're an offensive player, as far as you can look to drive a baseball, or a little defensive, which he is right here. 1-2. Just see the baseball, let it travel deep, and try to put it in play.
Grounded and fair. Knocked down by Ramirez. Moving to third is Judge. So base hit for Goldschmidt.
Again, you get behind in the count, just try to shorten up and put it in play. He does, right down the line. And a nice play by Ramirez just to knock it down. That's going to save a run. It'll be an infield hit for Goldschmidt again. First and third, one down. Good play just to keep it in front.
Well, the Guardians are bringing the infield in. Not all the way in at second and short, but in. And the pitch to Chisholm is up and away, 1-0.
It'd be a good at bat to get Chisholm back on track here as you see the Guardians defense. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Your job, get the ball in the air to the middle of the field.
1-1. Bobby had 101 pitches. Volpe's on deck. Judge at third, Goldschmidt's at first. Fly ball, center field. Martinez makes the catch. Tagging is Judge. The throw is cut off. Nope, it's not cut off, but it's late and up the third base line. So a sac fly for Chisholm, and the Yankees have their second run.
Yeah, that's a great job by Jazz Chisholm there, staying on a changeup. And again, your job, get the ball in the air, get the ball to the middle of the field. Aaron Judge scores easily on the sac fly. Sometimes when you're struggling like Jazz, a situational hitting at bat, which that was, might get you back on track.
Volpe grounds one foul, just foul. So for Chisholm, his 15th run batted in of the season as he picks up a sac fly. Goldschmidt a threat to run. Santana holds him. That's the 104th pitch of the game for Bobby. That's a season high for him. Previous was 99. 2 outs into the 6th. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Fastball at 96.
Yeah, he's emptying the tank now, knowing about that season high in pitches, trying to get through the 6th inning.
Grounded to Rocchio. Tough hop, stays with it, gets the force, and that'll do it. But the Yankees double the lead. They score a run. It's 2-0. Well, it's time for the Audi Electric Moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Well, it's all been about Will Warren tonight. Our Audi Electric Moment, pounding the strike zone, changing speeds, much more aggressive mentality from Will Warren tonight than any time we have seen him this year.
Nice bounce back from Thursday in Tampa. He's retired 10 in a row. Here's Kwan, the only hit against Warren, the leadoff single in the first inning, a blooper just inside the left field line. Kwan hitting .337.
Well, Aaron Boone giving Will Warren the 6th inning, turns the lineup over for the 3rd time. Let's have some action in that Yankee bullpen.
And another base hit. So Kwan has both hits against Warren, and that breaks up the 10 in a row.
Kwan just stands on the plate and just fights off the ball inside. Has enough strength to get it into right field. Leadoff base hit.
Now the Yankee bullpen has a new weapon tonight as the Yankees activated Tyler Matzik, a left-handed veteran left-hander, and they designated for assignment Yoendris Gomez. And Aaron Boone told me that one was tough.
Yeah.
He said Gomez has done everything that we've asked, and he's such a good guy. He said some of those conversations are really difficult. Grounded and through for a base hit for Jones. Kwan will stop at second. Back-to-back singles open the bottom of the 6th.
It could be a tough decision for Aaron Boone right here. I mean, this ball is just a couple of hopper through the hole on the right side. Out of the reach of Jazz Chisholm. Aaron Boone out on his way to the mound.
So 5+ for Will Warren. He gives the ball to the Yankee manager. Yankees will go to the bullpen. Yankees lead 2-0, but Ramirez, Manzardo, and Santana coming up with the tying runs on base.
2-1. We're back.
Mark Leiter in the game. We're going to take a look at our bullpen budget, which is brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. And you see the high leverage guys, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Mark Leiter Jr., all with a couple of days off, fully rested for the back end of this ball game. Tyler Matzik, Michael just told you about the new addition to the Yankee bullpen, and Will Warren, job well done tonight. Rebounded from a tough outing in Tampa Bay, 5 scoreless innings. Hands the ball over to Mark Leiter Jr. His last appearance was Saturday in Tampa. Thrown the ball really well this year in 11 games.
And he's got a tough part of the lineup that he has to navigate. He's got Kwan at second, Jones at first, and Jose Ramirez coming up. Nobody out. Ramirez had 4 ribbies against the Yankees last night, and he is 0 for 2 tonight. Warren now a spectator. And a strike from Leiter. Runners lead. Volpe shades up the middle. There's that splitter, 0-2. Swing and a miss, got him on the splitter. The tough Ramirez down on strikes.
What a huge out right there. Ramirez, fastball for a strike, split, and awkward swings to get the first out here in the 6th.
All the 6 Yankee strikeout, which you're looking at, is brought to you by Audi in the 2025 Audi Q6. Visit your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Yeah, perfectly executed split finger. Looked like a strike until halfway there and dove down and away.
And a strike.
Mark Leiter Jr. throws 92 miles an hour, but he comes right at hitters. like he's a guy who throws upper 90s. Now he has them all set up. Get ahead in the count, you start dropping some split fingers.
Runners go, and the ball gets away from Escara. Here comes Kwan. Here's the throw home. Safe. And moving to third is Jones. 2-1 Yanks.
Well, we've seen the Guardians aggressive on the base paths in both games of this series. Kwan gets a great jump. Jones follows as the ball gets away from Escara. Kwan, the play's right in front of him. The head first slide with his left hand. And it was a curveball. It was supposed to be away. It gets yanked down and in. Escara can't come up with it. The Guardians take advantage.
And that brings the infield in for the Yankees. The tying runs now at third base with one man out.
The head first slide, just reaching for the corner of home plate.
The 2-1. Line to right field, and Judge dives. He can't make the play. Gets by him. Jones will score. Manzardo going to second, backing up Bellinger. He'll get the ball into Chisholm. The game is tied at 2.
Well, Michael, you mentioned how well the Guardians have played here at Progressive Field. They're getting the crowd into it now. Manzardo hits it hard. Aaron Judge just tries to lay out and make a fantastic play. Just runs out of room, can't come up with it. And how quickly this game has changed.
Here's Santana. So the lead is gone, and now the go-ahead runs in scoring position. The 2 runs that have scored, they belong to Warren, so he goes 5 and gives up 2 runs on 3 hits. Runner at second, that's the responsibility of Leiter. 0-2. Grounded to Chisholm. 2 away as Manzardo moves to third. So Judge has hit the grass twice out in right field. Once he made a catch moving toward the line. That one he lays out to try to get the Manzardo line drive, and it got by him. Here's Bo Naylor.
Well, J.C. Escara behind the plate. You have to be on top of your game. Anytime you call a split finger or a curveball here with that runner at third base, you got to be ready to block the baseball, try to save a run.
Like that.
Yep. Was with the backhand just to knock it down. But as a catcher, right when you press that button for a split finger, you got to be expecting a mistake in the dirt. Good job by the young backstop.
Three and 0. Angel Martinez on deck. 3-0 count on Naylor. And he walks him on 4 pitches. Take a look at the optimum. Don't take slow for an answer replay.
Well, we're going to take a look at Stephen Kwan on the base path, stealing third. The curveball gets away from Escara. And again, a little peek right there. You see the play is in front of you, and he doesn't miss a step. Aggressive head-first slide. It's an exciting player.
So Matt Blake with a trip to the mound to talk to Leiter. Yanks coasting coming into the bottom of the sixth, up 2-0. Warren looks great, but then a single of Kwan, single of Jones, and Warren's out of the game. Leiter comes on, strikes out Ramirez, big strikeout. Then the runners go, and at that time he gets a curveball by Escara that allows Kwan to score, and then Manzardo's double allows Jones to score to tie the game. So right now it's first and third, 2 men out, and here is Martinez. Curveball upstairs, 1-0. And there's a strike, 2-1 on Angel Martinez. Martinez 0 for 2 against Warren.
Mark Leiter Jr. digs in there with that split finger fastball, then adjusts his grip depending on what pitch he wants to go with.
Runner goes from first. 2-2. Fouled off, so going back is Naylor.
The Guardians are on the move tonight. Very aggressive on the base paths, trying to steal some bags.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-2 game, bottom of the sixth. Runner goes again. Up the middle and knocked down by Volpe. Fires to first, not in time. Scoring Manzardo, and the Guardians lead 3-2.
Well, Martinez hangs in there on a split finger, and it's kind of a looping line drive that eats Anthony Volpe up. Martinez able to get down the line in good shape, right off the heel of the glove, and he hustles it up, trying to make up for it with the throw. Again, off the end of the bat, kind of a looping line drive, gets down the line in good shape.
And that scored an E6, Yankees' second error of the game. Chisholm booted one in the second inning. So the Yankee defense, which has been very good at the start of the season, makes a big error there. So first and second, 2 outs, 0-1 count on Schneemann. And that one's over the mound, charging Volpe, fires, not in time. Schneemann beat it out, bases loaded.
Well, nothing Mark Leiter Jr. or Anthony Volpe can do on this one. It was a good split. It was weak contact. Schneemann gets down the line in good shape. An infield hit to extend this little half check me swing. Volpe does all he can to come up with it, just not in time.
Schneemann's got speed. And this little chopper, an infield hit, loads the bases, and that will knock Leiter out of the game. It's 3-2 Guardians. They are looking for more as the Yankees go to the pen. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Untuckit. Find the perfect fit today at untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide. By Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Bet365, whatever the moment, never ordinary. at Bet365. Some of the exhibits in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A couple of blocks away from Progressive Field, where we are right now, and the Guardians lead 3-2. Looking for more, bases loaded. Yankees bring in Tim Hill. This will be his 10th game. Now, if you are, in fact, keeping score at home, the Martinez ground ball that was originally scored in E6 has now been changed to an infield single, so no error on Volpe. Hill against Rocchio. There's a strike. Quickly 0-2.
Yeah, it's been a while for Tim Hill. Last pitch Thursday in Tampa. Like he usually does, coming out of the bullpen, firing strikes.
High fly ball, right center. Judge back. Makes the play as he goes onto the track for the final out. But the Guardians send 9 to the plate. They score 3. They leave the bases loaded. Well, fans, the Yes app has moved to the Gotham Sports app, your new home for streaming live Yankees games and so much more, free with an eligible TV provider subscription. Download the Gotham Sports app now or visit gothamsports.com to get streaming. So a rough bottom of the 6th for the Yankees as the 2-0 lead is now a 3-2 deficit. Tim Herrin takes over for the Guardians. And that turns Dominguez around to his weaker side, the right side. He takes a ball 1-0.
Yeah, first pitch curveball from Herrin, and he throws a lot of curveballs, about 37% of the time, and it's a good one.
Herrin broke out last year. He's 28 years old. He had a 1.95 ERA. Lefties hit 136 with 1 homer against him since last season, including the playoffs. And that 1 homer was by Luis Ariz earlier this month in San Diego. Dominguez comes into this game 2 for 27 against left-handed pitching. 2-2. Not highly touted when he was drafted 29th round, 2018, out of Indiana University. Hunter Gaddis warming. If the bullpen holds on, Bybee could get a win after pitching 6 innings. And the count 3-2 on Dominguez. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Dominguez down on strikes.
And the struggles from the right side continue. It looks like the breaking ball just gives him a lot of trouble.
And now they will send up Pablo Reyes to pinch hit for J.C. Escara. One and 0 on Reyes.
Number 19, Pablo Reyes.
So Herrin has a 1-1 count. Now 2-1. Check swing, 2-2. Now the Guardians bullpen is considered to be pretty good. Their closer is struggling, though. Emmanuel Clase has really labored. Yesterday, Cade Smith closed out the game and did very well. And it wasn't because they removed Clase as the closer. He had pitched 3 days in a row. Strike 3. Reyes down looking.
Yeah, there have been some Yankee hitters not real happy with the home plate umpire Vic Carapazza in his strike zone. Greg Reyes not happy with this call. Off the plate, Bo Naylor brings it back.
So here is Oswaldo Cabrera, and that's grounded to short. Booted by Rocchio. Booted again as Cabrera reaches.
Well, unusual. Rocchio has a reputation of being an excellent defensive shortstop. Just came up a little quick.
To the plate now for New York, number 22, Ben Rice.
I would say that's an E6, but you never know. Here's Ben Rice. Ground ball. Grabbed there on the glove side by Schneemann, and that'll do it. Through 6.5, time for the stretch in Cleveland. Guardians up 3-2.
Time for your Ford Studio update. Bob and Jack with you, and Yanks were looking good up 2-0 until the Guardians flipped the script in the 6th.
Yeah, that was a counter punch from the Guardians to take a lead with those 3 runs. Up until then, Bob, the first 5 innings, Warren was terrific, as good as we have seen him. There were 14 at-bats that ended with fastballs or changeups. He didn't give up any hits, but then 2 singles in the 6th get things rolling for the Guardians. Can the Yankees now punch back?
We'll find out what happens, and we will detail all of it on the postgame, guys.
Thank you, guys. 3-6-1 for the Guardians, 2-5-1 for the Yanks. Warren, as they said, pitched well. Aaron Judge is 3 for 3, over 400. Bibee is eligible to get the win. Stephen Kwan 2 for 3 with a run scored. And here is Stephen Kwan leading off against Tim Hill. He tries to bunt, drag bunt, booted by Hill. He regains, and he gets it to Goldschmidt for out number 1. Austin Wells takes over behind the plate. Escara got pinch hit for by Pablo Reyes. Looks like Gabriel Arias is going to pinch hit for Nolan Jones. Coming into the game, the Guardians have 4 right-handed hitters on their bench.
Well, Stephen Vogt likes to get the advantage at the plate. Left-handed pitcher. He's going to pinch hit the right-handed hitting Arias.
Oh, 1. Luke Weaver's up for the Yanks. Chopper to short, charging Volpe. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Guardians up by 1, 3-2.
Another Tim Hill outing, another outing with a lot of soft contact against the lefty with his sinker.
Ramirez turns around to the right side and takes low and outside, 1-0. And there's a ground ball to Volpe, and that'll do it. As Tim Hill retires the Guardians in order, 1, 2, 3. We go to the 8th. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam.
Well, our coverage cam is following Aaron Judge tonight. First at bat, slaps one the other way. Good start to the ball game, and then off the end of the bat, it'll be 2 for 2 with a couple of base hits. Drives one down the left field line, a changeup that he's able to keep fair, and the outstanding defensive play out in right field by Aaron Judge.
New pitcher, for the Guardians on the Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees down by 1. Schneemann moves to right. Arias stays in and plays second. And Hunter Gaddis is on the mound. Gaddis has not given up a run yet in 10 games this year. He had a 1.57 ERA last season. And he was the pitcher in one of the great postseason at-bats you'll ever see last year when Juan Soto took him deep in the 10th inning of Game 5 to help the Yankees win their 41st pennant. That at-bat was surgical almost.
Gaddis does it with a really good slider that he throws a lot. He's thrown 3 in a row to Aaron Judge.
The 3-0 turned him loose, and he fouled back the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's what you remember about that bat from Juan Soto. Gaddis will come right at you.
And how about that? Judge is 4 for 4. 3 singles and a double for the Yankee captain.
At bat now for the Yankees, center fielder Cody.
3-1 slider. I mentioned he throws it a lot. Aaron Judge just went down there and dug it out from down and away and hooked it in the hole between short and third.
Here's Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He has 2 home runs on the year, 12 ribbies. Batting third in the Yankee order. And the pitch. 1-1. The 4 for 4 brings him from 384 to 411. High fly ball, right center. Martinez makes the catch to retire Bellinger as Judge heads back to first. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Single down the third base line. That was in the 6th inning, so 1 for 2 with a walk. Strike. High slider. 0-1.
Well, Goldschmidt is such an educated hitter when he walks up to the plate. He knows Gaddis throws a lot of sliders over 60% of the time. Big hole between first and second. Fully expect Goldschmidt to be going the other way.
Judge goes to second. The throw is not in time. A stolen base for Aaron Judge. So he puts himself in scoring position.
Yep, just times it with Gaddis, gets a good jump, peeks in, and the throw a little bit low, and Aaron Judge doing it all tonight. 4 hits, great play out in right field, now steals a bag.
Tying run at second. 0-2 on Goldschmidt. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider, 2 away.
Gaddis just made a perfect pitch on an 0-2 count. You know the slider's coming, but it's located perfectly down and away, just off the plate with 2 strikes. Can't throw a better pitch with 2 strikes to Paul Goldschmidt.
All right, here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. Sac fly. That gave the Yankees a 2-0 lead. That was in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 1. He's also walked. Jackknifes out of the way. 1-0. We're in the 8th inning. 3-2 Cleveland. Volpe's on deck. The 1-0. 1-1.
The Jazz does not get cheated, even in a situation like this. He's thinking about a 2-run home run. Yankees looking to tie it up here with Judge in scoring position. Gaddis actually better numbers against left-handed hitters this year than righties.
Two and one on Chisholm. Judge at second, 2 outs. And the pitch. Strike 2. Big spot for Chisholm. Yankees down by 1. We're in the 8th. Hits are even at 6 apiece. Way high, and the count full. Jazz calls time.
Well, on a full count here in a big spot in this ball game, you would expect Gaddis to go with his best pitch, and that is the slider.
And the payoff. Just got a piece to stay alive as he fouls it off. Gaddis gets the sign. Time called. A pitch violation. How about that?
Wow.
So Chisholm gets walked on a pitch clock violation. And here comes Willis, Carl Willis. Will try to settle down Gaddis. That's got to be unnerving to have that called against you.
Absolutely, especially with a huge spot in the game. You're thinking you're going to execute a 3-2 slider. There's the pitch clock violation. Vic Carapazza all over it. This is a nice trip to the mound by the veteran pitching coach, Carl Willis. Settle everything down, get back on the same page with Volpe coming up to the plate.
Now, this is how it works. You can't expect Carapazza to look at the clock in the outfield. There's a buzzer that vibrates on his body that tells you that the clock is run out. So that's why he throws his hands up, because Gaddis has not started his motion. So here's Volpe, first and second, 2 outs. Oh and 1. Yankees 1 for 5. Runners in scoring position tonight. Guardians 3 for 9. Missed outside. 1 and 1.
Well, this is an interesting confrontation here with Volpe. Gaddis loves his slider, but Anthony Volpe's been struggling with velocity recently. Back-to-back fastballs to Volpe. Three in a row.
One and 2. Yankees led 2-0. They trail 3-2 in the 8th. Judge 4 for 4. He's at second. Chisholm's at first. Volpe at the plate. 2 men out. A little bit high.
4 fastballs in a row. At some point, Gaddis is going to come with that slider.
Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider. In the 8th, no runs in hit, and 2 men left on base. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 Cleveland. I was trying to find out the answer to name that Yankee. Modest numbers, but he was on a World Series team in 1976 and on 2 World Series winning teams in 77 and 78. Chicken, Fred Stanley, one of Billy Martin's favorites.
I'm with Aaron Boone on this one. It's not in my lane.
Stanley could field the position. He split time with Jim Mason. Then the Yankees ended up making the trade for Bucky Dent. Got some big hits. Pesky hitter. Reliable. Billy liked him so much that he ended up his career in Oakland because Billy brought him over there. Hyundai scoreboard, bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 Cleveland. And the Yankees bring in Luke Weaver. Two-time world champion with the Yanks, 3-time world champion in the Giants front office. He played 14 big league seasons.
He must have really been able to pick it because the offensive game wasn't there.
Yep. Grounded to first. Goldschmidt takes it to the bag to get Manzardo. 1 away. You know, just a note, John. Tim Hill in the 7th retired the Guardians in order 1, 2, 3 on 5 pitches. Yep. Dominant.
I mean, every time he comes in, he pounds the strike zone and he gets weak ground balls.
It should be a lesson to all pitchers.
It's his rinse and repeat every time.
Weaver's gotten off to a great start. His fastball velocity is about where it was toward the end of the year. That was a little short at the beginning, but he has built up. And even when he didn't have the great velocity, his stuff was getting people out.
Yeah, he still can locate without the velocity, but the changeup is a separator.
Santana 0 for 3, 0 for his last 17. Veteran first baseman, 39 years old. It's going to be interesting to see who the Yankees face in the 9th inning. And it looks like it's going to be Smith.
Thought he would have had a day off or a night off tonight. He's worked a lot.
Well, Emmanuel Clase pitched in all 3 games in Pittsburgh. So I guess they don't want to use him 4 times in 5 days. He didn't pitch yesterday as well and has not been pitching well. Popped up. Goldschmidt for the 2nd out. Stephen Vogt was asked about him. He said, he's my closer. Clase's my closer. He said he's the best closer in the game. And both teams have closers that are struggling now. It says 9-0-0 for Williams, but there was a base hit changed to an error, or an error changed into a base hit on Cabrera. So his ERA is now in the 7s. It's almost about even with Clase. Naylor pops it up and out of play. So we showed you who's coming up the bottom 3rd of the order. Dominguez, Wells, and Cabrera. Crowd trying to throw Weaver by counting down the pitch clock, but not counting it down correctly. You know, of all the pitchers to do that to, I don't think it's going to affect Weaver. He's kind of chill.
He's chill with a good heater again. 95 miles an hour. Ball jumping out of his hand.
Fouled away, and that makes the seats out of play. And when you see they're not using Clase, John, even when Clase was unhittable, the Yankees seem to get to him more than other teams.
Well, you talked about Clase and how much he has worked lately. Well, that guy has worked a lot too, Smith. So this is definitely an interesting choice by Stephen Vogt.
The 1-2. Got a piece of that fastball, fouled it back. Smith is ready to go down those steps. Doesn't have much faith in Naylor. Popped up. Cabrera drifts into foul territory, makes the play, and Weaver retires. The Guardians in order. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Cade Smith coming in, trying to close it out. Guardians up 3-2 as we go to the ninth. The upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Note the start time tomorrow, 1:10 for the finale of this series. Thursday's an off day. Then a short homestand, 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays and 3 against the Orioles in Baltimore. And then Tampa Bay comes to town at the stadium.
A fast and reliable connection backed by a 100% U.S.-based workforce. So you get the best customer service experience possible. Spectrum.
Those are the numbers on Cade Smith. Dominguez spins around to the right, the left side, and hits one to center field. Jumped on the first pitch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Martinez makes the play. Cade closed out last night's game with strikeouts of Wells and Judge. And here's Wells.
It's pretty simple for Cade Smith. It's fastball, it's split finger, 2 above average pitches.
Escarra started the game behind the plate. Then Pablo Reyes pinch hit for Escarra in the 7th inning. Wells took over behind the plate, and here he is batting in the 9th. Popped up, shallow center. Martinez, 2 outs. Well, after the final out, get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Now that leaves it up to Oswaldo Cabrera. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Been hot over his last 11 games. And that one's grounded to second. Arias. And a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for Cade Smith. He closes it out. And the Guardians take the first 2 of this 3-game set. And they win tonight 3-2 for their 5th straight win.
Yankees now lost the first 2 games of this series. Going to try to salvage tomorrow afternoon.
Well, Warren pitched well. Gave up 2 hits in the 6th. And then some bad luck later in the inning. And the Guardians came all the way back. It's time for the Cadillac drives of the game, John.
Well, your drives of the game, the captain, Aaron Judge, responsible for all 4 of them. A base hit to right field. Another base hit off the end of the bat to right field. Then he gets a changeup, and he pulls it down the left field line. It's going to be extra bases, a double. And then later on in the game against Gaddis, hooks a slider between short and third. Tri-State Cadillac drives of the game.
So the Yankees lose 3-2 in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Cade Smith comes in. They're down by a run. And they saw just 4 pitches and went down 1-2-3 in a very neat manner. You see the numbers. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the W.B. Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, And our executive producer is Jared Ames Bosnack. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees wrap up their series at Progressive Field. Coverage begins at 12:30 on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 1. Again, the final score, the Guardians 3 and the Yankees 2. For John Flaherty and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Progressive Field here in Cleveland, Ohio. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry, who are standing by in our Yes Network studios with the post-game show. Guys?